Hello, lovely YouTubers. It's DK here, and today we are going to be starting our Illustrator class. So, the first thing you need to have in Illustrator is a working area. You need to define how big a space you want to work on, whether you want to work on an A4, whether you want to work on screen, whether it's going to be a print work. You need to define what kind of work it's going to be. So, the first thing you do is you click on File and you go to New. So in new, you have a lot of options. First is the name. What name do you want to give your file? It could be anything. So we are just going to give it first file, first artwork. I think that sounds better. And the profile has to do with the kind of document you are going to work on. They are just presets or customized dimensions that are there for you, so it makes it easier for you to choose. Since you can't always have the width and height chewed up in your head or memorized. So say you're working on a print work and you went for print. Because of this profile that you've chosen, the sizes here come up for you to just click. So say you're going to do a print work on an A4, you just select A4 and automatically the width and height are filled here for you. Say you wanted to do an art or illustration, the sizes come up here. You have postcard, you have a poster, you have A4 again, you have letter. So that's pretty much how this profile and size work. Was for a mobile, it could work for an iPhone X. So we're going to do wallpaper for an iPhone X. This is how you would go about it. For most cases that you do not find here, you just need to go online and check what's the width and height of the workspace that you want to work on and then enter it here. Number of artboards is the number of sheets you want the number of sheets you want to work on. So if you want to work on 3 sheets, you want to work on 2 sheets, you just give it as that. But most of them we just work on 1 sheet and we add up as and when we need them. Units. For different geographical locations, they are more comfortable with different units. So I know in Ghana, we are more comfortable with centimeters. So someone would like to go with centimeters, but in the US, probably feet and inches. In the UK, probably just meters as well. But that's how it works. So bleed has to do with an extra space, or bleed is an extra space around your document that is left out for print work. Bleed is usually used when you are going to have a print work. You give that extra space so that when the print comes out and the paper has to be cut, that space gives an allowance for the cut. Now color mode remains RGB when you are going to be working for screens, or when the artwork is going to stay on the screen, and CMYK when the artwork is going to be printed. These color differences are not so observable until you actually print the work. Then you realize that, wow, we should have used CMYK, or you use CMYK and then you send it out on the screen and realize that there are subtle color differences that an artist would realize it, or someone who is sharp in deciphering colors will see that your colors are off. But just keep this in mind: RGB for screens, CMYK for print. Raster effects have to do with the resolution, or how clear your image or your illustration will come out. So the higher it is, the more detailed. It means that if you zoom in, you get to see more detail. It doesn't get blurred when you are zooming in. And the higher you go, also your document becomes big. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to leave it at 150, and then we create our document. Once you have your document here, it's not a done deal. You can always make changes to how the document looks like. So at the moment, the document looks quite narrow. So in case we wanted to spread it out, all we need to do is use a tool called the Artboard Tool. In Illustrator, you go to Window and select Artboards. Now with Artboard selected, you can just click on this artboard and click on this symbol here, which signifies Artboard Tool. The same symbol is also your tools panel here. So clicking on it gives you back those changes that you could have made. So you can go back for a preset of an A4. Orientation has to do with how the width and height are aligned. So is the height wider than the width, or is the width longer than the height? That's all it actually means. So let's go for landscape. I think the icons here give you a fair idea of how how portrait or landscape will look like. So I'm going for an A4 landscape. Okay, and it shows here. That's my A4. One shortcut I suggest you choose Ctrl+0 to increase the working area to fit your space. And yes, you have a document you can begin drawing on. So that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video.